Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking about a Canadian makeup brand that I have been obsessed with for about a year now, and they are called Clionadh Cosmetics. Clionadh Cosmetics is based out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, which is amazing. I love representing brands that are Canadian. I first discovered Clionadh Cosmetics when I was browsing through Instagram. I happened to go down the rabbit hole one day and was instantly drawn to a post that they had made about their Archeo palette. And there was just something about the name Archeo that kind of drew me in. I did study archaeology when I was in university, and the colors that were in this palette just screamed Dimitra. I believe the brand's only been in business for a couple of years as far as I can tell, maybe 3 years, possibly 4 at most. And I think their two flagship products really are their Archeo and their Paleo palettes, and these bad boys sell out so quickly. But my patience did pay off because I discovered Clionadh Cosmetics was gonna have a booth at IMATS Toronto, and that is the only reason I ended up going to IMATS this year, was because Clionadh was gonna be there. So I marched my ass all the way down to Toronto. I got myself into the big convention and immediately made a beeline for their booth. And I was so fortunate to meet Maggie and Lee in person, who are the two owners of the cosmetics company. And luckily they had palettes available for purchase. Oh, I was so stoked. I just handed them my money and said, please give me 2 palettes. And as they say, the rest is history. I basically kept following the brand on social media, kept checking their website for new launches, new releases, and I've really gotten myself familiar with their eyeshadow formula now, as well as one of their one-offs and what they're really known for and what the brand stands for. And I have finally gathered enough information and played with enough products to really be able to sit down and film a full and comprehensive review for you. So without any further ado, let's do this. I want to start by talking about the ordering process from the brand's website. It is very simple to do. It's a very quick process. If you know what you want, you can browse, look through swatches, but I highly recommend that you check their Instagram because they often do a lot of live swatches, some comparisons, and all of the new releases as well as restocks are always announced on Instagram first. Now, because the company is so small, it really is only comprised of Lee and Maggie, so 2 people, and I believe as of January 2019 they hired on an extra person, so now they have 3 people working to process all of the orders that come through. There is a disclaimer that they put on both their website as well as their Instagram saying it does take about 10 to 20 days to process your order, sometimes a little bit longer if there is a new launch happening or a sale. The first order I ended up placing from the company did happen on Black Friday in November. I placed a pretty substantial order and got my hands on a bunch of different eyeshadows, but it took 2 months before they actually arrived on my doorstep. I realized it took a really long time for them to process my order, but they were really good about responding to messages on Instagram as well as emails. So if you had any questions about the order that you had placed, or if you even needed it expedited because it was a Christmas gift, they were really trying to prioritize and get orders out as fast as possible. The second time I placed an order, it was towards, I think, mid-January or late January, and it did arrive towards the end of February, which is when I'm really filming this video. So it was a bit of a shorter processing time, and the shipping was really quick, especially for me living locally in Toronto. Before I dive into the single shadows, I do want to talk about the 2 palettes that I have been obsessed with. I think these are the 2 flagship products that the company has produced since its inception, and I am so happy to actually have these in my possession. They are truly very special palettes. They are both handmade, so the exterior of the palette is all handmade, hand painted, which is why it does take a long time for these palettes to restock. Even all of the eyeshadows inside and even all of the single shadows that they make, everything is done by hand with a lot of love being poured into them. They do have a plastic layer that gives you all of the names of the shadows, and then of course the shadows themselves on the inside. I love this color scheme in particular. I think it really does remind me a lot of archaeology and ancient sites and antiquity. It's just so beautiful. You've got an entire row of matte colors on the top and then an entire row of metallic colors on the bottom. So lots of different types of shadows and colors to play with. The Paleo palette is very similar. Again, handmade. Everything is hand painted. It's got the protective layer on the inside as well. And then again, you have all of these beautiful colors to play with. The Paleo palette has two matte shadows, so this one, and everything else does have a metallic finish. So my suggestion would be to use some pre-existing matte shadows that you might have in your collection to really make this palette work, because I don't think two matte shades is enough for this particular palette. This can be a palette that stands on its own, whereas this one I feel does need a complementary palette to really make these looks work. The great thing about Clionadh Cosmetics is that all of their eyeshadows are vegan, and I don't believe they test on animals, so I am gonna go ahead and say that they are cruelty free as well. I personally love working with both of these palettes. I find the shadows relatively easy to use. The metallics are beautiful, pigmented, and you get full opacity on your lids very quickly. The matte shadows are also really good as well, although I find they do have quite a bit of a kick up, as do all of their single matte shadows as well. These colors blend out really well, and I don't think you're gonna have any issues working with them. The only color for me that didn't really work out from the Archeo palette was this gray shade over here. I found it to be a little bit patchy, a little bit difficult to blend out, but everything else worked beautifully for me. Overall, I would say if you can get your hands on these two palettes, do it as soon as you are able, because these are definitely one of a kinds that you are not going to find anywhere else. And that brings me to my next topic, which is one of a kinds, which is what this brand is also known for. So they do take some custom orders. You can definitely order online or email the company and ask them what they're able to do for you, but they also have a bunch of one-off shadows that they have created, and I only have one of them, which is right up here. I don't believe it is labeled. It actually just says one-off on the back, and it says that it's good for the face and eyes, so this is not lip safe. But if you guys can see, it's so beautiful with its gold color, and then it has a purple marble to it, and when you use this as highlight or an inner corner highlight, a brow bone highlight, or even all over your lids, it pops so beautifully. And I'm just gonna do a little swatcheroo for you. So I'm just sticking my finger in there and then just on the back of my hand swiping it, and as you guys can see, it's such a beautiful highlight. And just so you guys can see just how gigantic these one-offs are, that is what their regular shadows look like. So they're about the same size as a MAC shadow, and then you see the gigantic pan that is the one-off. It's quite large and you get lots of product. The brand has launched several collections since the beginning, and I haven't been able to get my hands on all of them. I have picked up a couple of shadows here and there, but I think the most predominant collection that I own is one of the newest ones that they released in the fall, called 66.5 Degrees North. And a lot of the colors that you see here are what make up the collection, and these single shadows are absolutely phenomenal. Most of the shadows are metallic, but there are a few that do have a metallic finish with some glitter, and then you also have a few matte shades thrown into the mix as well. All of the colors swatch beautifully and they apply even more nicely on the lids. I am wearing most of the collection on my eyes today. This is the fabulous look that I have created, and don't you worry, I did film it. I also filmed another look that used a lot more of the warmer tones as well as the Archeo and Paleo palettes. So I'll insert that at some point in this video so you guys can see what the application looks like. I am telling you, these shadows are beautiful. They apply so well. There's full opacity, lots of pigment. There is a little bit of fallout, so I will say use a little bit of loose powder or a shadow shield, or do your eye look first before you do your foundation, because you are going to get a little bit of fallout on your cheeks. Not a big deal, but just something I want to put out there for you. These shadows have really good staying power as well. With a primer, so a little bit of concealer and some powder, I can usually get between 5 to 6 hours of solid wear time without any creasing or without any fading of the colors. Beyond that, the creasing does start to kick in, and then I have to go in for some touch-ups. If I'm not wearing a primer, and bear in mind I have super oily lids, I can usually get about 3 hours of wear time before some major creasing begins. But again, I have super oily lids, so my advice is to definitely wear these shadows with a primer. I have also picked up a lot of other metallic colors from various collections. They have a Witchcraft and Alchemy collection, which includes a lot of duochromes, which I love. They do duochromes so well. Almost every single shadow that I own from this company has not disappointed me. I've really enjoyed using the metallics in particular. I have a very limited amount of matte colors, and truth be told, the company doesn't really produce a lot of matte colors. So if there was one piece of feedback that I would give them in the future is please make more matte colors, because they really do a really nice matte. But I have also heard from their Instagram feed and their Instagram stories that they are planning to release more matte shades in the near future. So fingers crossed. I really want to do a little bit of live swatching for you. I'm only going to take a handful of colors, but I really want you guys to see how beautifully they swatch. The first color I'm going to take is this one here called Aqua Fortis. And I'm just going to swatch it a little bit. There it is on my finger. I am gonna swatch it on the back of my hand. And there you go. You see how beautiful this color is. The next color I'm gonna take is this green one here called Morgana. It's like a deep hunter green. It is so soft and metallic. And there it is swatched on the back of my hand. Like, move over, Melt Cosmetics. Look at Morgana. I know I already swatched a green color, but I really want to go into Gecko's Tail as well. This is more of a, I guess, a neon green or a brighter green. It has a beautiful gold fleck to it as well, which is what makes it really unique. And boom, there it is swatched. I do want to go into Carrot next, which is this ultra metallic color right here. I'm taking a swatch, you can see it there on my finger. And again, going to my hand. Baby Jesus, look at how beautiful that color swatches. And lastly from this palette, I'm gonna take this color over here called Amulet. And this is another beautiful duochrome. As you can see, it's got a beautiful blue shift and a nice pink / purple base to it. Oh yeah, it swatches beautifully as well. I genuinely love this color. It is one of my favorites that the brand has produced. The next color I want to swatch is from the 66.5 Degrees North collection. It's this one down here called Snowdrift. So again, taking a little bit on my finger. Oh, so pretty. Putting the palette down. And oh, yes, 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 yes. There it is. swatches so nicely. It's a stunning, stunning blue. If I can get a little bit closer there, zooming in, hopefully you can see that it's got some pink and purple glitter in there as well, which gives it a really unique color. And I'm just gonna swatch a couple of matte colors. So I'm gonna take this purple color over here, which is called, give me a second, Borealis. There it is on my finger. And then swatched on my arm here. Boom. Another gorgeous, gorgeous matte color. And then also let's take this yellow color down here. I don't even need to look at this one. This one's called Maze. It is a beautiful bright yellow. You can see that on the back of my finger. And then swatching on my arm. Boom. Look at that yellow. I don't think I've been able to find a yellow that has been this pigmented in a really long time. As you guys saw, the shadows swatch so beautifully. The colors are so unique and they wear so nice on the eyes. Speaking of application, I'm actually going to show you two different tutorials using all of these eyeshadows. So one is going to be using more of the warmer tone shades, and then the other is going to be using a lot more of the cooler tone shades, i.e. the look that I'm wearing right now. The tutorials are going to be pretty quick, but I really do want you guys to see how well these shadows apply and blend. So without any further ado, let's throw it over to some warm toned goodness. Truly a fan of this brand and their eyeshadow formula. I love that they're Canadian. I love that they're really local here in Toronto, and I love the collections that they are producing. As you guys know, I have been on a bit of a giveaway streak. I did have the holiday giveaway, the Valentine's Day giveaway, and I wanted to incorporate another giveaway in this particular video because I am so excited to share this brand with the world and of course with all of my viewers. I've got these eyeshadows swatches here, which are part of a duochrome shadow bundle. These are some of the colors that are incorporated. Hopefully you guys can see from my phone here. If not, I'll put a picture right here so you guys can see all of the beautiful shadows. I've got Necromancer, there's Gecko's Tail, which is that beautiful green color that I swatched earlier. Panacea is one of them. I've got Aqua Vitae, which is another stunning blue color. There's Prophecy in here, as well as Shroom. So beautiful, beautiful duochrome shadows. There's only 6 of them. This is gonna be a really easy giveaway to enter. All you need to do is be subscribed to my channel. I am going to be checking. And then I'd like for you to just leave me a nice comment in the comment section below. It would also be great if you guys followed me on all of my social media, my Instagram in particular, which is the platform that I am most active on. And I'd also love for you to show some love to Clionadh Cosmetics and give them a follow on their Instagram as well, which I'll link for you in the description box below. All of the other details around the giveaway are going to be listed in the description box below. And that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. You can also connect with me on all of my social media, which I'm gonna link for you in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you are all having an amazing day no matter where you are in the world. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!